Yes, sir.
Perfect.
Hey, Noel and Mike Leventovich. I'm on the TWC with Eric Belair.
Hey, Junior Korea.
All right, up out of my mind, Eric. He's a man. Looking good.
Right, man.
Yeah, I need you to rhyme for us. All right, I'm going to shut up now.
What was that, Junior?
We got a weird beeping.
Junior, turn your mic on real quick.
Hey.
Is it time? You got one
Yes.
more.
I think we'll do pretty good. I don't know. If you get offended, I'm sorry. It's not from Andy or anyone else in the Alliance. It's our fault. Mike and I. Okay, so blame us. Okay.
That's right. That's right. So if you got your lunch, that's okay. You can eat in front of us. We're not offended. If you don't got your lunch, well, you can wait an hour and a half now. Okay, because we will be offended if you stop. So, okay. The other day I was sitting there eating my sandwich, man. He was talking, and Terry Edwards texted me. He says, "What you eating, boy?" I texted him back. I said, "I'm eating partner food." Meaning we're focused on partner. We're focused on going partner. We're thinking about partner every day. We're thinking about how we're going to go partner, how we're going to take you to go partner with us.
Do you know what partner food is? Does anyone know what partner food is? That's when you're eating while you're working, baby. That's partner food.
That's right. It's not so much what is the food as much as, yeah, you're grabbing something on the go, you're running and gunning like your hair's on fire, and you're on a mission. So that's big. So we're going to be hitting on that today. So like we're going to be talking about hitting partner. We're going to talk about how do you go from agent, a high producing agent, to becoming an agency manager, to becoming a partner. We're going to give you some of what you need to get there. We're also going to be talking about this underlying these building blocks of life, health, and wealth, and how our business needs to be anchored in all three areas for you to get to a top producing agent and to get to agency manager and to get to partner. How understanding those three elements. We got some specialists here, some people that are rocking it and killing it and doing really, really well in that area. So we're excited to be sharing some good top producers with you. Let's see, other key things. Andy, by the way, he is out serving. He took out the jet, dusted it off, and he is barnstorming the Southwest and the Southeast this week for the whole week. So that's why he's not here. He's out serving, and COVID be damned. He's going to be out there, and he's not scared. He's out there, a big group of people out there safely in Texas, in different parts of Texas. And I know they're being smart about it, but we understand the value of being connected. We understand the value of association. And Annie is out there leading, and we know it's going to be a big key as we continue to grow and help you move big and fast with us. Okay, so man, I love kicking off a leaderboard sometimes, and so I'm going to do my best.
Is Tia doing it? Or
well, Tia, if I can either run it, Tia, do you want to go ahead and kick us off with the leaderboard? And if you'd love to, I'd love to start with the Foresters October, September contest. That first one on that leaderboard set would be awesome if you've got that. Oh,
There we go.
Hey, we love Foresters, and the fact that they've put up this contest. What's crazy is this contest is a 2-month contest, September and October. These numbers are through the 23rd, and this is for cash and iPads and recognition, and it's not exclusive to the Alliance. It's for all agents around the country. So if you ever thought, I wonder how good I am, well, here's a good way to measure yourself against every Foresters agent in the United States. And what's cool is we've got 3 of the top 10, basically. We've got Stephanie Rodriguez crushing it with 36,800.
Rookie.
As a rookie, down there, tearing it up, hair on fire. Love what she's doing.
She's the #1 in the country, baby.
That's right. We got Danny Johnson out there in North Carolina, clocking at number 9 with 24,000. And just behind him is Mark Hutchinson with $23,800. So that's crazy. Scrolling down, let's see who else we got in the mix here. Jonathan and Megan Yakey just celebrated their first wedding anniversary at 18,000. Congratulations. Olga and Jason Mathis at 16,000, popping at 38. Mia Fennell. I was about to say part of the Terry and Tia Edwards team, rocking in there at 16,000. Rory and Ariel at $15,795.
Hey, real quick, Jonathan and Megan are really close to getting one of those iPads.
Oh,
You're
my
at
gosh.
18,000, and the one above you is like, what, $30 ahead?
And the $29 of premium ahead of Jonathan and Megan Yakey. So if somebody ought to text them, they
Makes
might
a
do it
difference.
handy, but just be like, y'all are like
Hey,
$29 of premium.
Hey, one more makes a difference, like
One-
Andy always says.
yeah.
Just one more. Just
Yeah.
one more. Just
One
one
more.
more.
$29 more of premium gets them an iPad and an extra $400 on top of the $800. That's a big deal. Okay, let's see. So we got Rory and Ariel. Go on to the next page. Let's see. We've got Paul and Rachel Van Thoff, part of the Menachino team in the hunt. Doug Becker, Jared Gonzalez, Mercedes and Gustavo Turan, Vincenzo, or Vinny, I think as he likes to go by. And we got Michelle, part of Mike Hartlieb's team. Awesome, way to go. I don't have the list of all the last names here, but that's okay.
Yeah, they're on this.
Oh,
one.
what do you know? I got them on another sheet.
That's fine. So keep going down, and there's some more down in there. So all the ones that are highlighted, those are the Alliance people. So, and all the ones we mentioned before, but there's still time. There's still time for you to get into some of the money and earn a bonus on top of a bonus on top of the bonus.
Look, Stephen Davies up in there. Got his, with
Fired up.
11,000. He's been working some conversions on his book of business. I was just talking to him earlier today. Terry T. Edwards, Megan Wood, Noel Wilson, Jake. We got a bunch of people. Hey, look, and you got a chance to move up. All right. Next leaderboard, if you can bring that Forrester's fourth quarter Rolex, that's the next thing. This is crazy. This Pepsi Rolex watch. I didn't even know there was such a thing as a Pepsi Rolex watch, but if you Google it, you can see the details on one of these things. And this Pepsi Rolex watch, we're getting credit for our Forrester's production for this. And Stephanie, as you can see, is in the lead, but it's there for anybody else that wants to jump up. Her lead is not insurmountable. Granted, we're 3 weeks in, and she's got a good lead, but I mean, Danny Johnson's up in there, Mark Hutchinson's up in there, Jonathan and Megan Yakey are up in there. So there's a number of people, and really, we're 3 weeks into a 3-month contest, so this is anybody's game. So it's Doug, Mercedes, Jake and Veray, Alfonso, Steven, and Holly, Rory and Aaron, Chris Manifold, Megan Wood, Bubba Skinner, Michelle, Debbie. We got a bunch of people. So Forrester's, why is people thinking, if you're new, you say, why, with all the carriers that we have, why is Forrester's the one we're talking about first? Why is there more money and incentives for doing Forrester's? Quite frankly, we like them the best. Okay, but here's why. They're one of the easiest companies for us to work with. Their leadership team is very tight with the Alliance and very supportive. We love that. I was texting, getting help from Bruce Burke on a Saturday morning. You know, he don't have to work on a Saturday if you don't want to, but he chooses to be available and help out. We got Cheryl Gasson working the back end. She was helping me taking care of some stuff I emailed yesterday and today, as I've got some personal business in there. But here's the other side. As a fraternal company, what a cool story. I called a client to do a review the other day, and I started to talk to her, and Eric, you'll love this. We started to talk to her about, hey, how are you doing on the member benefits, and are you taking advantage of them? And she's like, oh, yeah. I said, do you worry about the scholarship? She said, yeah. 4 out of my 6 kids received a Forrester scholarship.
Wow.
I was like, wow, 4 out of 6. I was like, what's wrong with your other 2 kids? It's like she laughed. I said, what happened to them? She said, well, one didn't want to go to college. The other one, we didn't know about it until after we became a member after he was already in college. But it was just kind of fun to have that kind of a story and to realize this lady's received $32,000 in scholarship for her benefits. And she's only paid out like $6,200 or $7,000 of premium. I mean, and they haven't even paid out a death claim or anything. I was just like, oh my gosh. So we love the Forrester story. There's more stories like that out there as you help people become Forrester's members. In fact, last night, I was talking to a lady, and I was explaining, did you know about the Law Assure program and Forrester will help you do a will? She said, no. I'm so glad you called me. I've got an appointment to go pay an attorney to create a will on Thursday. Now I can cancel that you've helped me show me how to do this. I'm like, that's right. And so just taking the time to know the story and talk about it is so big. If you'll just take these little stories and start to create your own by using the benefits, selling Forresters, and talking about the benefits, you'll have more stories like that.
Absolutely.
Whew, all right.
All right. Anyway, next one.
That's enough, Lou. Let's pause on the leaderboard for now.
We're going to pause on the leaderboard. We'll probably bring them back up.
Yeah, Tia, stay on your toes because we got more coming. Okay.
Time out. Like Junior said, time out. All right, let's get rocking and rolling. In fact, we do want to talk to Junior Correa. We got him up on the call today, so I don't know if you can unmute your line, Junior. You got that buzzing sound? Is that gone now? I don't hear it, and I don't hear you either.
All right, is that any better?
That's better.
Perfect.
Better. All right. What do you want Junior to start with here?
All right, so let's see. Junior, first of all, give some people your background. Tell people like where you came from, like literally where was you born and how did you float over to this country?
Holy cow, we talking about the banana boat and everything. All right, we're going to give them the whole story. All right, well, hey, everybody, Junior Correa. It is so cool for me to be on the TWC. Like, this is a national call, and I'm on the TWC with my heroes. And then Eric Belair, I'm glad I'm going before him because I couldn't follow up after him. Like, no kidding. So again, my name's Junior Correa. I was born in Cuba. I sound like a redneck because I get around Andy a lot, but I was born in Cuba. And my parents brought me over to the United States when I was 8 years old. We did not have to come swimming, which is good. So we came on airplane and moved down to Miami, Florida. They bought a house in Lakeland, Florida when I was 13 years old, and I've been here my whole life. And I met the Alliance when I was 18 years old. I was doing the traditional kind of go to school, have a job, graduate, and then get a better job. But thank God I was interrupted with that whole process. I had a job going door to door doing solar panels, and I just happened to knock on a door of a guy that was working with Mike and Noel, and that changed my life. And that was 9 years ago, but we're just getting started. Like with this thing that we got happening with integrity now, we're just getting started. I had somebody ask me earlier, how long y'all been with us? I'm just getting started, man. That's what Andy Albright says. He's just getting started. Man's got millions of dollars. Just getting started. So, married. Got married next month. Will be 1 year married. And we have a little baby girl, which was born 7 weeks ago. My wife's name is Giovanna Correa, and then my daughter's name is Evelyn Rose. So
Evelyn Rose.
Cool.
A lot of changes happen for you right now this year, right? And how's your business doing this year so far? How's your income?
This is the craziest year, Noel. I was looking on the ARC because with the ARC, we have the ability to be able to see our income in like one snapshot, which we've never been able to do. And I plugged in there January 1st until whatever yesterday or a couple of days was. And so far this year, we've already made $201,000, and the year's not even over. So, and then we're gonna have record months these next couple months. I'm excited. We'll see where we end up.
That's amazing. It's a pandemic year, and you're having record growth and record things happening in the organization. So I love that. I think that's huge, and people understand that and just see what's happening. And that's all, by the way, while learning how to stay married and have a baby. Hey, anybody can get married. Try staying married.
That's a tough one right there. Hey, our anniversary is on Halloween.
That's right.
We're having an anniversary too, Junior.
That's right.
It's not a 1-year anniversary, but it feels like it.
21, 22.
22 years old.
Anyway.
But hey, learning to stay married is a big thing, and learn to. Hey, anybody can make a baby, just about. But trying to raise one, that's a whole nother game. So
and building a business. Your business is your baby, by the way. If you don't have any kids, or if you do, your business is your baby. Okay.
Agents, don't call agents babies, but they are.
So, Junior, talk a little bit about where you see your business going, and just like kind of, we know where you're at, but talk to me about kind of when you think about your level of commitment right now, and your level of focus, and what it looks like to be committed. Like, just give us something with how you know you're committed, how you know when someone else is committed, how do you know when you're showing commitment on this path to, from agency manager to partnership? Talk a little bit about that.
Wow. How much time do we got? So I had a conversation with you and Noel 2 months ago or a month ago, and I said, I want to go on another run. And I knew if I was going to go on this run, I wanted to have my wife's backup, which, by the way, you can do it even if your wife is against you. Hopefully she's for you. But I wanted to make sure that I follow Mike and Noel's example of doing things together. So we got together, and I knew I was going to be working like crazy. And we said, look, the baby's born. She's not going to know exactly what's going on now. So if we're going to make a run, let's make a run now. And I mean, honestly, what does it look like, Mike? It's going to look different for everybody, but really the way it's going to look like is what are you doing with your time? When I wake up in the morning, I'm thinking about my business. Like I get here, I mean, I wake up usually, it's harder now with the baby, I'll tell you, but usually I'm up around 5 or 6. And I have had days when you go to bed at 3 in the morning, but usually 5 or 6. And I'm looking at my business. I'm getting in a workout, and I'm at the office at 8:30 in the morning. And I might have already talked to a few agents before then. And I don't leave the office usually until 9:30 or 10. And you say, well, that's not that big of a deal. Okay, well, it's 13, 14-hour day, and it's not like, and I'm focused. Okay, so when I'm working, I am focused. And then I get home, I'll talk to my wife for a little bit and spend some time with her. But I'm doing that 6 days a week. And yes, we still have date night. And we still have Sunday where I got a family day, but I'm also doing other stuff to expand. Like I've got two staff here today. I'm gonna show y'all. Better smile. I don't know if y'all can see. Hold on. There's Byron. This is first day, and then that's Ariel.
Hi.
So, and then I've had a full-time secretary, Courtney, that's been working with me 6 years. So I'm setting people up that can help me grow, because I only have 24 hours in a day, but if I can have other people help me. So I'm investing in staff, I'm investing time, energy, and money into other people. I'm reaching out to y'all more than ever. I'm calling and asking for help more than I've done in a long time, multiple times a day. And I just realized I need to be really, really humble. Like for me, I'm at 200 or 250 or whatever, 300,000 in income. I don't have stuff figured out. I am messed up. Like y'all call me. You have no idea. If you think I'm just messed up, I'm like that messed up. So I realize I need to be very humble, and if I want to get to $1 million or partnership, I need to be asking questions. So I'm just being humble, and I'm asking y'all what I need to be doing on a daily basis. So I can go a bunch of different directions, but I don't know if that's helped or.
That does help. And I'm hoping it just paints a picture. Like sometimes, how do you know what work looks like? How do you know if you're really working? How do you know if you're giving your all? Sometimes, that's Junior's vision of his work and where he's at. So you might say, well, I'm working more than I'm working less. It's not a comparison as much as what is it? Do you feel like you're going all in? Because this is going to go in partner it's not for everybody. And I think one of the things I would tell people is some people might be thinking, oh man, hey, with this pandemic, I've got an autoimmune deficiency and I've got this and I got to stay home. I said, if I was you, I might do the same thing. But I also know Andy was out in Texas and there was a lady there who's like missing a kidney or something, or missing something, a couple organs, and her autoimmune system is pretty compromised, but she's there. Guess what that says about her commitment to her dream and where she's going? So if you're saying, well, Mike, do I have to cut out a kidney to impress you with my commitment? No, it would help. No, I'm just kidding. But like
there was another lady there that he mentioned that lost a son. And she was there sitting in the meeting learning. And that's not to say that you have to do this, okay? But it's just a level of commitment to, like Mike said, focusing on your dream and what you want to do and moving forward. That's huge.
And if you're like, hey, I've got a situation I can't do, we're not mad at you. Like, so if somebody thinks, oh, they're not going to like me because I didn't do this, no. But we certainly notice when people have this commitment and they're fighting through a crisis. And they're having sometimes you don't know if you're committed until you face some kind of adversity. Yeah. Sometimes you don't know if you're committed until you have to work through some inconvenience or a lot of inconvenience or severe inconvenience or emergency. And so I think that's
huge.
It is huge.
Because when there's conflict, there's an opportunity for commitment. It's a decision when there's conflict. And that kind of puts it on the line there for all of us. All of us. I tell you what, you're either, what does Andy say? You're either going into something, coming out of something, or
in the middle of something.
There you go. So that includes all of us. So now, there's an opportunity there too if you take a hold of it.
Somebody asked me the other day, they said, Mike, I don't feel like I'm challenged enough. Should I be praying for God to afflict me with a challenge? I said, no. Typically, what I find works is if you set a big enough goal, Satan's going to come find you. He'll throw something at you. He'll take care of that.
Amen.
So if you have a big enough goal, the conflicts and the challenges and crises will start to appear. You don't have to ask God for conflict to impress somebody.
Yeah.
But if you'll start off with a bigger goal, that's typically the path where you're going to see some bigger challenges. If you're like, I don't see no challenges, then you go buy a little teeny little pea-sized goal. Like, I want to issue $500 of premium in a month. I said, I want to go agency manager in 30 years. He said, no, how about we try to do it in 2 months?
The bigger thing is ask him to help you through those conflicts and come out on the other side, right?
Yeah.
Or to use you during those conflicts to help somebody on the other side or through it. That's a bigger thing.
That is a big deal. All right. Here's what I want to do. Tia, Junior, I appreciate you being here and being present. And I want to jump over to the leaderboards again, Tia, if you don't mind. I'd like to jump into the Warrior Challenge, if we can get there.
We probably need to.
Let's see. And I know we've had a bunch of people hit this Warrior Challenge. Let's go down to like the 4th page and recognize some of the people just to get through this. There we go. All right. So we're already up to, I think 181 people. There we go. So
how many shirts are there?
I think I heard there's 200 shirts. So there's like 19 left, if I'm looking at this correctly. So they've got 181 people, including some of the most recent ones. Jeff Wilhelm out of Missouri, Cornelius Suarez, or Nelly out of El Paso, David Bragg out there in Colorado, Niall Flanick over in North Carolina, Stephen Davies got one. Oh man, that's cool, Stephen. Alan Hooley, Gil Tucker, Karen Hopper, Curtis Jones, Annette Ivy got one, Adrian Claston got one. So, hey, George and Wendy Lagagianis, Lindar Cook, a bunch of people recently in this mix that have picked up Barbara Lowry, Erica Dorr, Tanisha Staton.
Hey, we got her on the call today. Tanisha's on the call.
Yay,
you got yourself a shirt, girl.
That's right.
Good job.
All right. So, a bunch of people here. All right, next thing we want to hit.
You better hurry up and get your shirt, though, because they only got 200 of these.
That's
we
right.
We need to work on getting us a shirt.
I know. And so perfect. I want to hit the next one is this 4th quarter personal production, this $100,000 cash. This is crazy that there's $100,000 in cash on the table for a quarter of production. And there's actually $300,000. We're going to talk about the recruiting, but there's $100,000 just based for the top producers. And so this is one of the few leaderboards where we'll see Megan Wood at number 2. So I know she's excited to see that. We'll let her tell us how she feels in a couple minutes. But Mike and Michelle Olivan at $70,700 in place to earn $25,000 of lead cash. Megan Wood in second place at 70,373.
$400 behind.
That's
Come
right.
on.
Virginia Gutierrez at 62,150 in third place, set to pick up a $5,000 cash lead credit. James and Jane Hill at 54,000. Sherry Bakar, part of Junior's team, at 47,900. I skipped over Stephanie Rodriguez at 49,600. By the way, in this, every dollar of premium counts, but Forrester's premium counts double. Forrester's premium counts double. So if you're like, oh, I don't know if I could catch up to Megan Wood, well, if you would simply issue 35,000 of Forrester's, it would count double, and you'd be ahead of Megan Wood at this point. Okay.
That's assuming Megan would slow down.
And not write any Forrester, but I think she'll probably figure that part out.
She ain't slow down. She doesn't know what that means.
That's
Anyway.
right. All right. So other than that, I just love the people that are up there. And I mean, here's the crazy thing. We're not even a month in, and this is through the 26th, and we've just got some rocking numbers here. Jake and Bray, who are on this call, are up there in 17th place. Way to go. Olga and Jason Mathis at 35,000. Scroll down a little bit further for me. We'll get
There's
to
33 spots to earn cash here.
Bubba Skinner, and we've got Mark on the team there. Oh, Mia Fennell, Katrina Gustin, Mercedes and Gustavo, Adam Johnson, Marcus Richardson, Noel Wilson, Stanley Aldridge, Mimi Romero, Karen Mike Williams, Doug Becker, Kelly Haney, Eric and Randy Cruz, all up in there. And then it's like, gosh, if you look at how tight it is to like for 34 through 40, I mean, it's only like a couple $1,000s. It's really anybody's game. I see Austin Heater, Jeff Turner, Billy Crane, Jacob Bell Krause, Alfonso Michelle Thomas, Brandon Nelson, Chris Manifold, and Brent and Jill Swindell. So a lot of folks up in there. I think that's really cool. But guys, understand this is like, somebody might be thinking, is this worth fighting for and pushing for one more and just keeping a steady push through the quarter? I'll tell you, that's a lot of lead credit. You know, that's this, and the fact it's coming to lead credit, it's like a tax-free benefit to you. So that's huge. So if you'll take advantage of that, you can put yourself in a good spot. Can you imagine being in first place, 25,000? If your lead bill was, in fact, Megan Wood, do you know how much your lead bill is? Are you able to unmute for a second? How much is your lead bill running per week right now for you and your overrides and everything?
My lead bill, probably like 700, 600.
All right. So if your lead bill say $700 a week right now, and you divide that into 25,000, because we bank on you passing Mike and Michelle to get that 25,000. I know it's a stretch, but
You just wait.
Okay. All right. So let's say it happens, and so we take 7,000 and 25. So 25,000 divided by 700. That would be 35 weeks with no lead bill for you, Megan.
That's huge. Oh my goodness.
More money into my bank account. I'm fired up.
So,
all right.
So crazy opportunity.
Let's go on to the next one. Do you want to go to the recruiting one real quick?
Well, I was gonna hit the recruiting later. We'll come back to recruiting. We'll kind of come back.
We're gonna come back to the recruiting one. Okay.
That's right. We got more to cover. All right. So we talked about going from personal producer to partner, but one of the things I want to talk about before we get to is we talk about going agency manager. Bring up go with my document. Yes,
that one.
And let's go share my screen.
Can we share?
I think she's going to let us be able to share. Perfect. Awesome. Okay, so if we're looking at this journey, and y'all seeing my screen okay? I want to make sure. You guys see my screen, Eric?
Yes, sir.
My blue and white drawing? Okay, perfect. All right, so if you're sitting here
Isn't
looking at
this a pretty picture? Mike drew this himself.
That's right. This is my artwork. It's like
nice job.
Okay, so when you get started in the personal production game and understanding the simplicity of it, because notice simple doesn't mean easy, but simplicity of personal production. And we can talk more about it, but I tell people it's like checkers. And if you can focus on getting leads and booking appointments, putting in the work, and communicating like crazy to learn the game. It's leads, it's a lot of work, and it's communication. And you can be moving up our super PAC, and I believe anybody could go out and issue 30,000 a month, especially here. In fact, real quick, if you're here and you're a doubter, and you say, Mike, I'm struggling to get 15,000 issued. Mike, I'm struggling to get 20,000 issued. Okay, I've got to tell you a couple things, and I don't want to make you mad, but I might. And here's what I've got to tell you: in 2020, we couldn't have set it up to make it any easier for you to issue 30,000 a month. And if you're gonna feel like, but Mike, you don't know how hard I have it, just hear me out. Because if you understand what is going on in our country from a media perspective, how they continue to talk about the 200,000 plus deaths in coronavirus, how it's only going to get worse. They're talking about all the forest fires and how the country's going to burn down. Then they're talking about the other half of the country's going to blow away and get drowned because of hurricanes. Then we're talking about the riots and unrest, and we're talking police shooting people. I mean, they're just saying you're going to die from all this stuff. We couldn't have a better culture of death promotion right now. I mean, it's everywhere. Shoot, it could be running down. You'd be driving down the highway, and you got one of those illuminated signs where it's saying, instead of saying "buckle up, you're going to die," it's saying "put your mask on while you're driving and don't wear it over your eyes because you're going to die of COVID." I mean, it's just like, how many different ways can they tell us about it? It's just like, come on now. So that's one piece that's out there. The second thing that's working in our favor is people are concerned about their financial future while they're thinking about this. There's some uncertainty of what's going on. They're thinking, hey, I got to take care of stuff. And then the next piece is our ability to manufacture leads right here in October of 2020 is the best it's been. We've not had the lead manufacturing capacity between what Andy started to make changes 9 months ago to optimize our direct mail opportunity and what we're seeing there. Partnering with people like Bang Bang and Mail Pro and LeadGrill and a couple of these other places that have become very good at creating social media response of people saying, come out and help me. And so we really can be order takers. You don't have to have and be the super sophisticated salesperson that's got to know all these tricks. You can outwork your deficiencies. How? Work, more leads. And if you go out and get some coaching, you can get better. So you can suck and still be doing good. But with the work and more leads and communication, you can get better. And there's no excuse if you're willing to put in the time to not be there. So if I had one message for anybody here, or if you have someone on your team, I want you to hear that message with the depth of conviction that we've got. And then you take on top of that our portfolio of products, which we're going to come back to, because we're here to help people in life, health, and wealth. And we're going to come back to that theme and give you some more on that. But understanding your first role as you get started with us is, how do I become a good producer? And getting to 30,000, anybody can do. Okay.
Anybody can do it, and you can do it fast. It like you said, it's just the work, leads, and communication, and staying on that track. I mean, shoot, we got people that are issue paying 20 and 30,000 in their first month or so. Yeah. So
that's big. That's real big.
I just want people to know that it doesn't have to take years and years to get there. It doesn't have to take months and months to get there.
Yeah, you got that right.
It's a commitment to doing it and making it happen.
So speaking of people that are leading from the front in personal production and moving toward agency manager, because here's what I like. We're going to talk to some people I think they're making a move here. Viray, if you don't mind, open up your mic and let's just talk about the growth you and Jake have had in your personal production, what you've seen in the last few weeks, and what you're tracking to issue this month.
Can you hear me okay?
Loud and clear.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for having us on. We're fired up. I know Jake's wanting to jump on. He's finishing up with an appointment. But we're just excited. I know one of your questions was like, where are we at for the month? I just added up this morning. So I know we were talking to you guys on Monday, what our paychecks are going to look like. And this isn't even including Friday. But Jake and I, we're 24. I got a little confused. We're 24 years old. We've got 2 kids. We're out here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And this month in commissions, we have made $15,373. Like, that fires me up. So I'm super excited. We're just trying to, bring people on and set an example for them. So just running appointments, we're nowhere near where we want to be, but we've just seen it's picking up because we've been consistent. We've been hitting our 40 appointments every week. At first we were scratching our heads like, okay, is this even worth it? But just with consistency, we're pushing for 30,000 issued in the month, no doubt about it. And we're just excited because we've got people on the team that are, wanting to set examples as well. So we're excited about that, guys.
How many weeks in a row or out of the last 4 or 5 weeks have you guys written and submitted over 10,000?
Out of the last 6 weeks, it's been 5 out of the 6 weeks.
the 5 out of 6 weeks you've written 10,000 or more. Now I want you to take me back to the 6 weeks before that.
Oh, Lordy.
All right. So talk to me about what you all were submitting in those 6 weeks. What was a typical submit week or range of submit for y'all before we went on this 10,000 week streak?
We were averaging, like some weeks we'd hit 8,000, other weeks would be 4,000. So we were seeing between like 4 to 8,000, right around. I mean, it would just vary. One week we'd hit 8,000, the next week we'd hit 4,000, the following week 6,000. So we were just kind of right in there and couldn't seem to break 10. And then all of a sudden we broke 10, and it happened again and again, and it really got us to the belief level of like, hey, we did it that week. There's no reason why we can't do it again the next week.
Okay.
And so I think that's what it has to do with, is our belief level as well.
So belief level, what were something you did to help boost your belief level?
I mean, we just talking to you guys, talking to Joseph consistently, being plugged into the TWCs and things. We saw Andy, he was just, read. So we were reading, but we're reading books, we're still reading books. So it's just like what we're putting in our minds every week, I think, has been the biggest thing, is between the books that we're reading, the people that we're talking to. And one thing that Andy said that hit hard for us is like, hey, who are you talking to at night? And it's like, okay, if you're talking to your spouse makes half your income. Like, you should not be talking to them about that at night. So I remember that specifically when he said that. And I was like, oh, so we probably shouldn't, it's not that we can't talk to each other and come up with a game plan, but when we're looking to better ourselves, it's reaching out to you guys, to Joseph. We've been texting Andy, even if we don't always get a text back, like it's just putting that out there that we want to be on top. So
that's big. I noticed y'all speaking 30,000 a month with more conviction is one thing that changed about 6 or 7 weeks ago. And I don't know which came first, the believing or the speaking, but I noticed y'all started talking about 30,000 a month differently about 5 or 6 weeks ago.
Yeah, that's true.
Tell us about that, because I think sometimes you'll call us back and you say, we're issue paying 30,000 this month. I forgot to tell you. And you'll hang back.
Yeah, so that was one thing Jake and I decided, is we're going to speak it, because we've always heard, so, you got to speak it, and then you got to, you can't just speak it and not do anything, but that's the first part, is just speaking it. And so, I'm grateful for Jake too in some ways, because some days he'd be like, we're issuing 30,000, and I'd be the negative Nancy, and he'd be like, you stop that right now, and you call them back and tell them you're issuing 30,000. So we would, if we got off the phone with you guys and we didn't mention it, whether it was a text or sending it back to you guys. And so it's just, even when we have our negative thoughts in our heads, it's still speaking it, because that's the ultimate goal. So not letting myself doubt it and then not speak it. So that's a big thing, is just, talking to others about it, because then you want to be accountable for it, because you don't want to look like a dum-dum when you don't hit it. So
you trick yourself into working harder to hit it. That's big. Okay. Now, y'all are on track, and we talk about, when I look at this and the screen I had up, we'll pull it up again here in a second. We talk about the simplicity of selling is like checkers. I mean, you can still lose at checkers, but it's the simplicity of the game is there, right? So simplicity of selling is, not that complicated. Now, when you start to build toward building an agency, okay, the level of complexity changes. Now it's not just what am I doing with my clients. Now it's like, okay, now I'm helping to teach another agent to help clients. And so I I tell people the level of complexity is kind of, you go from just driving or backing up in your car to now you're driving and backing up, and now you've got like a trailer. And anybody here tried driving a trailer and backing up with a trailer hitched up your vehicle? It's not easy. It's like, and sometimes it's counterintuitive, because you thinking, okay, if I want this thing to go left, well, I got to turn my wheel to the left. It's no, sometimes I got to turn it like the other way, or you kind of depends on where the wheel's at. You have to look at things a lot more differently to really make that determination. So it's like we move from checkers to chess as an agency manager. What are the things, Roy, that that you are Jake are investing in as you're building your business to the agency manager level? What's the next thing y'all are pouring back into to get there?
So a couple things. I know one big thing has been leads, and leads for our team. And I know you're having that conversation. You guys mentioned it earlier, like your business is your baby. So it's like, we're trying to invest money back into our team with leads, making sure that they're up and going and they can have a successful week every week. We just hired our first administrative assistant. So she's been working with us, and it's been like an instant change in things. Jake and I, we have this like fear, it's a good fear. It's like, hey, we got to perform because we committed somebody else to a position. Like, we can't leave them hanging. So it's committed us to working harder, making sure that we're able to pay her every week. We're scared of not being able to do that. So we're sure as heck not going to slack off. I don't like making commitments to people and not following through. So that's been one of the big things, is the administrative assistant, and then just investing leads into our team, leads in ourselves and leads into our team.
So there can be good pressure and there can be bad pressure, right? This is part of the good pressure. If you're working, it's good pressure, because you said that you wanted to maintain your commitment with her. If you're not working, well, that's another story. But you and Jake have put this in your minds that you guys are doing that. So it's just for people out there, if you hire a staff person, make sure you're doing the work so that you can pay that person, because that's a key.
Yeah. I've seen some people, they're working at this level, and they hire a staff person. The staff person starts to work at this level, and then this person says, oh, my staff person's doing all these things, now I can take a vacation. I said, no,
It don't work like that.
Okay. Actually, when you hire a staff person, you're going to have to work harder. So what? That's not fair. I said, well, guess what? You're going to have to train and educate and help form your staff, which is going to take extra effort, and you can't back off on the other stuff, although it's going to feel less efficient. You're going to feel like you're going backwards to go forwards when you hire your first staff. Heck, you might make a mistake and hire a terrible staff. You're like, what do I do? Fire him and hire another one. But it's like, so if you're hearing this, understand there's some pieces to the game, but the goal is having that staff person is like another set of hands. If you can clone a part of you or a chunk of you to be effective. So
you can take the A type activities off of, like the B and the C type activities off of you, so that you can focus on your A type activities. That's income producing activities, right? That's what you want to focus on. It's not to give them your A activities so that you don't have to do as much. That's not the way this works. It's to give them the B, the delegate, the other things, the fiddly things, so that you can do more of the stuff, the income producing stuff. So we're getting a little into details, but I think this is a good point to hit on.
It's to help you be more productive, not the same level of production.
Or less. God forbid, less productive. Right. Oh my God.
So that's so huge. And so you got to keep looking, how am I spending my time? How is my staff person spending their time? Agency manager. When's your first month of qualification going to be, right?
All right, I just got to speak it. So Jake and I, we need to be hitting agency manager in the next 90 days. I mean, and there's everything that we've done. I was looking at last month's, and it's like, hey, had we just pushed a little bit harder, we would have hit qualified agency manager. We had legs going. Had we poured into them a little bit more, reached out a little bit more, we could have had them up and going at that $15,000 leg, because it was just under it. And so, I truthfully believe that Jake and I can hit qualified agency manager leg this next month, because I know we're going to do it. I know we've got, with your guys' guidance and just investing in them, making sure that they have the resources and the drive that they want to hit their promotions as well.
So I'm going to simplify. How about you say, we're going agency manager in November.
Yes,
we're going agency manager in November.
Right. And we're going agency manager.
Okay.
This is recorded.
It's recorded.
Everybody heard you.
Everybody heard you. Val heard. We're going to hold you to it. You're going agency manager.
But how easy or how hard is it to go agency manager? It's freaking.
First of all, if you're doing 25,000 or more, which y'all are, that's your first leg. Then it's finding 3 other legs. One that'll do 15,000, whether as a group or an individual. Another one doing 7,500 as a group or as an individual. The 4th leg doing $1, and the whole team doing 50,000. it's not that hard if you're the one that's if you're leading with the pack and doing 25,000. So that really is the simplicity of what agency manager structure looks
I
like.
think your personal production accounts for your largest.
Right,
leg.
you can be your biggest link. So that's massive, 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 easy. I see we got
Or
Jake
you can
jump
be
in.
added to a leg though.
That's true. Yeah, it can be.
All right.
All right. So Jake, we've been talking to your bride, and she is crushing it. She's talking about how y'all go on agency manager next month. In case you didn't know, but she's committed to it. So all you got to do is the work to make what she's saying truth. You able to say hi?
That's right. That's right. Can you hear me okay?
I said, we hear you. We hear you.
Awesome. Well, hey, thank you guys for having us on the call. I know we've been just fired up lately, staying consistent and helping some families. And so thank you guys both. I see Joseph on here as well. Thank you, Joseph. And thank you to my wife. I see her there as well. But just fired up. And yeah, definitely on the same page as my wife, Beret, with hitting agency manager and just being fired up to do that.
All right. Did you just get back from helping a family?
I did. Of all places in Rio Rancho, New Mexico, I met a family who was from my dad's hometown of Bayonne, New Jersey. And so it was like being home for a bit. And the gentleman was actually in the South Tower of the World Trade Center when the planes hit, and just meeting some really down-to-earth people. And it's so awesome being able to help him out. He worked for AIG for 10 years. And so just came out of there and helped him out. And he asked for hospital indemnity plan, Medicare, go help his sister and her husband as well. So just fired up, all kinds of things, just meeting people from where I'm from and being able to help them out with everything.
All right. So now I want to get this straight. So you wrote a life app.
Right.
Okay. You got that. And then slow down on the other things you identified or have already written. What else did you write in the home today?
So we did the life app now, but going back for hospital indemnity, because he had one of those previously and it helped him out big time. Needs help with his Medicare. And then his sister and her husband need policies as well.
Okay. So we took care of the primary need. This is good because we're going to be queuing this up in a minute. But so you found the secondary need, the third need, and you got active referrals that need help. That's beautiful. Did you get a selfie when
Yes,
you
sir.
were with him?
Did I what?
Get a selfie? Picture?
Oh yeah, I did.
Okay,
Yeah.
fine. That's good. All right, that's good. That's important. That's the most important part. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, good. Hey, I'm proud of you, and we got some more things we want to get to. Megan Wood, I just saw we lost your face there for a second. Did we lose your video, Megan? I was going to pull you. There we go. All right, Megan, you able to say hi? Need you to unmute.
Hey, how we doing?
We're doing good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm excited about being on this call, so I appreciate it. Thank you.
Awesome. Where were you last week?
I was in Florida.
What were you doing in Florida?
I went to Disney World.
And how was it?
It was exhausting.
How was it for Elijah?
He had a blast. He was tired too, though. He was tired
Okay.
too. So I was anxious to get back. It's crazy to me how like I was telling you, and I even told Andy Albright, like when I was a waitress at Applebee's, I'm like, I can't wait for vacation. Like I just can't wait to just do nothing, right? Get away from the job place. But the weird thing about it is I was so anxious to get home. Like I was having withdrawals. I was having like insurance, helping family withdrawals. I'm like, I cannot wait. I've got to get back. I got things to do. The end of the year's coming. So like, this is my thing. So I was very, very happy and excited and anxious to come back. So
Well, that's
I
cool.
think that's pretty awesome.
How many families did you help while you were gone?
I helped. I wrote, but in that whole week, I did 20 apps while I was gone. But in the whole week, I was at, I believe, like 30, 35, somewhere around there.
There you go. So you're still working while you're vacating.
Yeah, but
Squeezing
it
it in.
Okay. All right. Hey, so you've shown how to grow as a personal producer. In fact, do you remember a year ago what your typical monthly production was? How much premium per month you were issuing?
No.
Okay.
Not as much as what I'm doing now.
That I know. I mean, last year you would be bounced around between like 15 and 25,000 is about where you were in the second half of last year.
Yeah.
Maybe 28, 29 some months, but right around there. And I think if I look back, I think it was about this time last year that you really started to grasp some more of the other products. I know you dabbled in a couple of health products, but talk to me about some of the growth and how the health side has helped propel you as a personal producer.
So it started when my dad was diagnosed with cancer. My dad was diagnosed with cancer, and he had a policy, and he got $15,000 like in a lump sum for being diagnosed with cancer. And I'm like, what? Like, seriously? And so I remembered by looking at Mutual of Omaha that I saw something about cancer policies. So I'm like, well, this is game. Like, this is huge. I mean, how many people in this world are diagnosed with cancer and can't pay their bills? Like, how many people? Because that would have been my family. That would have been my mom and dad. And so I took it upon myself. It was like an opportunity. It was, I mean, like, I love it when you find something and just like a light bulb goes off in your head and you're like, it's game, right? So I was super excited that I was able to do that. And then going back to all my clients and being able to help them out with something different that's going to help them in so many more ways. That's going to help them while they're still alive. And so I was really excited about that opportunity. And then we just keep doing more stuff, like hospital indemnity plan. I'm going back to my clients. You know, we can help them with Medicare now. I'm going back to my clients because those are the people that they already have trust in me. They already love me. They already trust me, right? So I can help them out with so many more things now. So that's a huge part of my growth.
So here's a question. When you are helping people out and building your trust level, what happens to the referral side of your business? Like, are you more likely to get more referrals when you write one app in a home or when you write 3 or 4 apps in a home?
When you write 3 or 4 apps in a home, because so if you're helping them out with the life insurance, it doesn't really make them think, because they're thinking, oh, well, Mary's close to me, but she already has life.
You hit the mute button, Megan. We lost you there for a second. Hey, Megan, we lost your audio. Megan, we lost your audio.
All right.
We can't hear you.
There we go.
There we go. We lost the last sentence. I hear you now.
Hang on. I can't hear you.
Can you hear us?
I can hear you. Okay.
All right,
so, like if I help them out with a hospital indemnity plan, or I help them out with a cancer policy, it starts making them think like, wow, so you're telling me that if I'm diagnosed with cancer, I get $10,000 immediately. So it makes them start thinking about, well, Nancy would probably be interested in that. Nancy, I bet Nancy doesn't have that. Oh, Nancy had a huge hospital bill. She doesn't have enough money to pay for it. Nancy would probably like that hospital indemnity plan. Like, it makes them think about their friends because they realize it is helping them while they're still living. You know, and it's something that they've never heard of before. Nobody's ever shared that with them before. So you're the first one.
That's big. Okay, so that's massive. All right, so you're taking this life, health, and wealth side. I noticed you started to really last year's AEP season. You got to hang out with Ivy. By the way, Ivy Wilson says hello, and we had planned to have her on the call. And things are so crazy with people competing for Ivy's time. there's an agent that had booked an appointment during this time that Ivy committed to, and Ivy had forgotten that when she's like, oh my gosh, Mike, I committed to this person. It's a first Medicare Advantage enrollment, and I got to help them out, and I promised this, so that's fine. We've got it. But we will bring Ivy in on the activity call on Friday. But I will tell you, Ivy is working like crazy and having fun, responding to texts and calls like morning, noon, and night right now. So, and I see heads nodding from people that have gotten hold of her and need them. But Megan, talk a little bit about how much help Ivy was to you as you really started to ramp up more with these other health products.
So Ivy is amazing. For one, I'll never forget the day that I called her the first time, because I was trying to get through to, like, I was so nervous. I was trying to get through to somebody to explain to me like how this whole thing worked, getting my contracting done. And I talked to somebody that talked to somebody that talked to somebody. Finally, I got a hold of Ivy. And so I had called her, and she just explained everything. She walked me through the whole process. She helped me get to know what I needed to do. My first appointment, she walked me through. I mean, it's amazing the help we have here at the Alliance. Like, it really is. And she's a really good friend of mine. So
that's cool. All right. So now let's talk about how you just cranking out the personal production, but talk about what you're doing on Going Agency Manager. Like, how close are you to agency manager right now, Megan?
I'm super close. I'm like, oh my God, I'm super fired up. Everybody did what they needed to do this month. So I got one more month and I will be agency manager in December. So everybody will do it.
You'll be recognized.
So first month of qualification here in October, and then coming back in November and hitting it again.
Right.
That's right.
Okay.
I've never been so excited in my life.
All right. So I know I've seen you doing some of these things. I'm going to share my screen here because I know you're doing some of these things that we're talking about. And I'm going to pull up my screen because I know what you've been doing. And the same thing most people are doing.
Can you see that? Can y'all see this?
So growing from producer to partner, right? It takes more commitment, but there's more work. I know you've been working more, Megan. I know what your work is like, but I noticed you've hired. Well, you just did what on the staff side, Megan?
It should be producer.
I got two.
You now got two. You just started one. How recently?
She's been with me for two or 3 weeks now. 3 weeks.
Okay, so about 3 weeks. All right. So 3 weeks. So you've added more staff. You're doing more work. And your staff. How is your business doing on the recruiting side? Are you doing more interviewing and recruiting now than you were? Or talk to me a little bit about that.
Yeah. So I got her trained to do recruiting, and she's built a relationship with somebody in the office that's doing recruiting. So she's listened into them recruiting. So I got people on my calendar to recruit every single day. And I didn't have enough time to get that done before.
Okay, that's big. And then I know, like, an office space, I know you've made some conversions in your home to create a functional space. You want to talk a little bit about that too?
Yeah, so I made enough money to put an office. I got my basement's finished. I got my office down there. And it's basically for Alicia. So she works there, pretty much her office. So she works there while I'm out running business. So she's basically working on the stuff so I don't have to worry about that stuff. And I can just do what I love to do, which is helping families.
Helping families and helping agents.
So like we talked about before, you're doing the A activities. She's helping you with the B activities and the stuff that you can delegate out, the stuff that you can have somebody else do. So income producing activities is where you're focused.
Right. And it's lifted a huge weight off of my shoulders because I love helping families and helping agents. That's what I like to do.
Cool. And your year-to-date income, have you taken a look at where you're at with your year-to-date income? Or?
I have. I'm at $240,000 so far.
Deposits in your bank account.
Deposits in my bank account.
And you know what's crazy is because of your growth and contract level all happened like really in the second half of this year, it's like I'm watching some of your weekly deposits. I know you had some weeks like $10,000 and $12,000 a week, where people don't understand how much your income's really grown this year and how much you're going to keep growing. What are you guessing, or what kind of a goal do you have for income for 2021, Megan?
I'm going to make $1 million, Mike.
That's right. That's right.
I'm going to be a millionaire.
That's right. Hey, I've got no doubt with what you're doing to create more passive income on the health and the overrides and your personal production and your investment back in the staff. I got no doubt you'll be there. You will move to partner fast with that kind of mindset. So no doubt. Awesome. Well, thank you for being here. I'm going to pull up, we're going to have, let's see, we're going to stop sharing here for a second, and I'm going to have Tia bring up kind of the leaderboard, the weekly leaders that we typically goes over. If you can pull that up, Tia. Let's see. She's got it. It's a different sheet. I don't think she's got it. We're gonna have them pull that up. Let's see. There we go. All right. So this is our weekly leader. So for the top submits for the week, Billy Crane clocking in with 22,000. Camo with 17,000. And Brian Power with 16,300. Hey, nice job. A great job on the life submitted. On the issued paid for the week, we had 12 people that are listed here. We've got Curtis Jones, probably Cat's team, with 6,000. Billy Crane at 6,000. Jenny Patel at 6,300. Rory and Ariel Bean at 6,700. Joseph Dukes happens to be on this call with 6,700. Sheena Flowers at 7,300. Caleb Law, 7,600. Junior Korea, who is on this call, with 7,900. Kyle and Jeannie Wilson at 9,000. James and Jane Hill at 9,900. Jake and Bray Joseph at 11,000, also on this call, coincidentally. And Megan Wood with $17,099 on 24 applications issued for the week. So way to go, guys, on our annuity producers.
I gotta take care of this dog. Sorry, keep going.
So Alton Notice with 45,000 on the annuity side. Jeff Turner, 88,000 on the annuity side. Joe and Tony Walker, 126,000 on the annuity side. Evan Patzer out of Columbus, 130,000 issued on the annuity side. And Adrian Claxton, 160,000 issued on the annuity side. Top three Foresters producers, Megan Wood, here we go, 4,000. Jenny Patel, 4,100. Mark Hutchinson, 5,200. And our top recruiters, I think this is big, especially as you talk about going agency manager. Jeremy Patton and Diane Lampy with 3. The ABTF Red Team with 4. Anna Salazar with 4, part of Alex Abian's team, my buddy. Michael Hartley with 4. ABTF Blue with 4. Alex Abian with 4. Mike and Kate Maurice with 6. Andy Riddle with 8. And Joseph 2 with 8. So these people here, some of them are not yet agency managers. That's who you're gonna see becoming some of our next agency managers. So I'm excited for those folks as we continue to grow. So speaking of recruiting and coming back to this this fourth quarter, 100,000 in cash, you have the ability, if you're not an agency manager, to grab another 25,000 in recruiting cash. And Joseph too looks like he's got his name all over it. But I see we got Louis Abate and some others coming up behind him, but 18 contracts in which put in. And I mean, we've got others that are there at 9. So Lewis at 9, Anna at 5, Stephen at 4, Jane at 3, Carrie and Mike Williams at 3, Stephanie Rodriguez at 3, Keith at 3, and then a whole bunch of people at 2. And so the crazy thing is you know what? I mean, the difference, if there's a tiebreaker, I believe it's based on your personal production, but man, don't let it be to a tiebreaker. Get one more. Let's focus. And yeah, if Joseph too can do 18 in 3 weeks, hey, what can you do in the next 2 months and a week left? Scroll down to see who's kind of down there at around like 33 and so 32. So I guess, look, some people are even at number 1 and they're on this leaderboard. So I would tell you, it's anybody's game to jump into this lead credit cash. There's 100,000 at stake, and how important could that be for you? Similarly, for the agency managers that are out there competing. So again, this leaderboard we just covered has no agency managers on it. So you're like, well, I don't know if I can compete with them. Nope. This is everybody that's not yet an agency leader. So Tia, scroll down to the agency manager recruiting. Quick glimpse there. Andy Riddle's, man, hey, he's running away with this thing so far, but watch and see. Somebody else might jump up if he's got his 56. Mike Rodriguez at 23, Brand Ashley Beal at 18, Fitz at 16, Jeremy Patton at 15. Bunch in the 15s. on down. Eric and Bobby Belair with 8. Eric's on the call list here. Way to go. Mike and Michelle Holloman at 7. And kind of scrolling on down in our agency managers. We need some more agency managers because we only got 32 places filled out. We need somebody to pop up as an agency manager and start competing with the rest. So we're looking for some more. We got more room for you. All right. So those are leaderboards. Last thing we're going to jump into here is as we've been talking about the health side, Eric Belair and Tanisha, I know I was talking to Ivy, and she was raving about the progress you guys are having in this area. And so, Tanisha, I'll let ladies go first, Tanisha, but I'd like you to just kind of introduce yourself, tell people a little bit about your background and what's going on, and some of the things you've been doing to really embrace the health side along the life side of your business.
Hey, y'all. Thanks for having me on. I'm Tanisha Staten. I was hired by Mia Fennell. Prior to the Alliance, I was a loan processor. I've been part of the Alliance a little over 2 years and just loving it. In regards to the health side, I'm going to piggyback off of what Megan said. Ivy is amazing. If you don't know Ivy, you need to get to know Ivy. Because when I got into the health side, I called Ivy, I called Megan. And they both took the time to make sure I was familiar with what I needed to know. You don't want to do the wrong thing because Medicare is federal. You can go to jail. You don't want to do that. But my clients are my direct mail clients. I'm reaching out to them to help them with Medicare. I'm helping them with insurance, with hospital indemnities, dental, vision, anything they need. I'm a one-stop shop.
Okay, that's big. And so how would you say of the number of applications you're writing a week, how many are life and how many are health? I'm doing, it's probably half and half. So like last week, I submitted like 5 life apps and I submitted 6 Medicare apps. So it's like I'm able to write multiple policies in the home. Okay. All right. And now a lot of people know that this AEP, which started October 15th, was it December
7th.
December 7th is this annual enrollment where people can automatically enroll and switch their plans for 2021. But I think some people might be thinking, oh man, it's too late, or I might miss out. What would you tell somebody about the opportunity on the health side year round? What would you tell them, and what would you want them to know, Tanisha?
You have opportunities all year round with Medicare. We have people, the baby boomers are turning 65 at a rate of 10,000 a day. They don't have an option to make a coverage, the choice. They have to make a choice. Why not you be the person to help them make the choice and give them the options? We also have, like we're in AEP now, and in January 1st, all of those plans kick into effect. But they also have OEP that goes from January 1st to March 30th. So it's a massive opportunity. Even if you're not licensed right now, get licensed, get contracted. It's more business than a couple of us can handle. It's a whole lot of people out there that need help. Why can't we help?
And that's big. So if people can say, you might think, oh man, it's too late for me to do anything. I would tell you, put in the work to get your AHIP class done. And by the way, somebody might say, I know, I'm going to skip running appointments tomorrow.
No, don't do
They're
that.
thinking that. Somebody's thinking, oh, I need to see it. No, this is when you're focused on working, your AHIP and your studying is something you do in non-prime time. You do that from 9 p.m. to 8 a.m., not from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m.
Right.
You know,
Non-income producing activity time.
yeah, it is. But like it's work. I know it's work, but don't do it when you can be meeting with clients or agents. Do it afterwards. Squeeze it in, sneak it in. But that's a big thing. Tanisha, do you have any one particular client or story that you helped out in the last week that you're kind of excited, you kind of tingles that you got to help them to save something or do something where maybe they didn't have the best plan before you got to meet them?
Well, I have one client. She's on a medicine for heart problems. She was paying with the current plan she was on, like $500 and something a quarter. I was able to sit down with her yesterday and go through the new plans for 2021. So she's gonna go from paying $500 and something a quarter to paying $100 and something a quarter. She's loving me right now.
So that's $400 a quarter times 4 quarters. That's $1,600 a year.
Yes.
So did you ask her for like $1,600 worth of Starbucks gift cards?
No, I didn't ask her for that, but she's already a current client, so I'll help her daughter, her granddaughter, and she has some friends.
Okay, that's awesome. That's really cool. All right, Tanisha, I'm excited for you. I love that you dug in and you're helping leveraging Ivy and got a good balance in your business. And it's just as more agents choose to grab this knowledge and understand, we're going to get bigger faster. But thank you for being here and sharing today.
Thank you for having me.
All right, Eric Belair, buddy.
Hey, man, what's going on, Mike?
Hey, buddy, good to see you. And by the way, while we're talking, there's something I've drawn up and I want to just kind of share as we're talking. But Eric, give people some of your background, and really what's going on, what you're excited about with the health opportunity in the business and how you've been leveraging that.
Cool, Mike. Yeah. So listen, everybody, I've been with the Alliance now for 13 years. And before I came on board with the Alliance, I own my own cell phone company. I did that for about 11 years. Prior to that, I was with Circuit City. And we all know what happens out there in the world today with corporate Toys R Us, Payless shoe stores, you name it. They're not there for the long haul. And prior to that, I was United States Marine Corps, hoorah. And my wife and I have been married for 32 years. We have 8 kids. We have 11 grandkids. And just taking this to the next level. Every day looking for bigger and brighter ways to get it done.
Cool. So when did you get turned on to the health side of the business? Or when did you start to make a shift and start to weave it in?
Well, I could tell you that, Mike, actually, I got my health and life license 13 years ago, and I've always believed in having the health side of it because of accidental death with Mutual of Omaha, and you couldn't sell it without the health license. So I've always taught it, always told everybody about it because it was important. But then, of course, with all these new products that were brought to the table, with being able to do Medicare Advantage and being able to do a hospital indemnity plan, which I like to nickname hospital income plan, and starting to get my head wrapped around it. I would probably say about the last 3 to 4 months with hospital indemnity plans, and over the last 3 to 4 months with Medicare Advantage. And recently, because of AEP, even more so with Medicare Advantage. To Tanisha's point, there are people out there. I was starting to write Medicare Advantage way before October 15th because there are people out there just turning age 65. There are people out there that are younger than age 65 who are on Social Security disability and been on Social Security disability and have no clue of what Medicare Advantage is. And they've been sitting out there not even realizing they can get on Medicare Advantage. And they're also on Medicaid, which would make it even a better Medicare Advantage plan by doing the DSNP. But the cool thing is, Mike, with knowing more about this now and just making sure people know that I am now in that business, that I can help them when it comes to their Medicare Advantage plan or their Medicare plan period, it's helped me to get in front of more clients and book more appointments. And you asked Tanisha a question about how much she saved a client. Here's the funny thing. I've had a client for now 4 years. And I've made money on them by selling them life insurance, selling their husband life insurance, selling their kids life insurance, selling them accidental death. But then this year I mentioned to them, oh, by the way, I do Medicare now. So I had all these leads stacked up in a Medicare folder that I had to wait till October 15th because they were October 15th people. So I go out to sit with her. Her husband, who is a United States Air Force retiree, he's got VA benefits. He doesn't have TRICARE for life. He didn't stay in for 20 years, but he has VA benefits. And here he is. And I just found this out. He's in $125 a month Medicare Advantage plan, not a MedSup. He's in one of those specialty Medicare Advantage, but he's paying money for it. And we move him to a free plan, or no, I can't say free, a no cost plan that actually is better for him. And then we couldn't figure out why he was in that plan. And they come to find he's been in it since 2011. And the person they called at Medicare told them He had no business ever being in that plan because of his VA benefits, and it was wrong for him to ever be in that plan. So they've done the math, and they wasted over like $16,000. And it's unfortunate that I wasn't doing this 3 or 4 years ago, because I would have been able to stop it then. But they're thankful and grateful that I stopped it now. And another thing, Tanisha's point is we got to go out there like we've always been doing, and helping Americans be in the right product for the right price that does the right thing for them and their family. And I love this open enrollment period, being able to find things like that and help people.
That's crazy. It's just like, and there's more stories out there if we'll take the time to equip ourselves with the AHIP and take 3 extra minutes or 5 extra minutes with every client we're sitting down with, or every client we've already made, and just be intentional. In fact, Eric, I was talking to someone the other day, and they said, Mike, I'm just not getting anywhere with this health stuff. I said, what do you mean? I said, how many people did you talk to that were like, did you sit down with that were over 65 or 64? He said, well, I sat down with 12 people. I said, okay, well, how many of them were over 65? Well, 10 of them. I said, okay, so you mean out of 10 people, you couldn't find anything to talk about with their health stuff? He's like, no. I said, dude, then call from the home, because we'll give you the stuff to talk about if you can't think about it. How about you just ask them, what Medicare plan are you on? Do you have a lot of copays and deductibles? Just ask like you care if it was your grandmother. Would you care if your grandmother couldn't pay her medical bills? Well, yeah. Could you look at everybody like it's your grandmother or grandfather? So I think, and then that person called back and they said, hey, Mike, I just found out this person has got this and they need their plan reviewed. And so once I get my hip, I'm going to go and book the plan and talk to Ida. I said, right. If you just start talking to every person, you will uncover gems, and you will be surprised at how easy it is once you start doing it. But if you stand on the sidelines outside the fence, you're going to continue to imagine possibly that, oh, woe is me, and that looks hard. No, that's a bunch of crap. I mean, it's simple, but there's several simple things you just have to learn to complete to be in the game. But there's not any one thing. You say, to be clear, this is not calculus, it's not differential equations, and it's not linear algebra. Thank God. Yeah, I didn't like that stuff. Okay, so
I don't even know what that is.
That's big, right? If I don't even know what that is, it's even worse if you don't. Okay, right. Now I want to come back to this. Our sheet here, our page. So like if you look at when you start your business, we start talking about leads because you need leads. And we go in and we get a lead for final expense or for mortgage protection, and we go in there and we help them out. And now it's like, okay, we got to be strategic, and are we surveying the situation? And are we thinking about whether it's other life insurance needs? So did we help them with a term or permanent policy? Well, if you help them with a term, maybe they need something permanent. If you help them with permanent, maybe they need some more term, or maybe they need something accidental. They have kids or grandkids. Are you thinking about the children's whole life? So right there, we've covered 3 bubbles of either or more in the life insurance arena. Then we get into the health side, and you're like, well, I'm not AHIP. Well, guess what? You can still talk about a hospital indemnity plan. Does that require AHIP? Nope. You could talk about a dental, vision, and health plan. Why? Because not all the benefits that people have Medicare Advantage.
So that's what
DVH, dental, vision, and hearing.
People don't know.
People don't know. If you're like, what's DVH? It's kind of like a DVR, but no, it's not. Okay, it's dental, vision, and hearing. Eric, have you sold some DVH plans?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Why is that important to seniors? Tell me why. Why should I care? Why do I need to know 3 more initials in this insurance world? Sell me on that, Eric.
Just an opportunity to show them another way to. Medicare only does so much when it comes to dental and vision and hearing, depending on the Medicare plan you have. Some don't do anything at all. So you got to make sure you, like you just said, ask questions, find out their cost, find out what they're doing. If you see them wearing eyeglasses, first of all, and if they need dental work done, of course, you're going to say, who do you do it with right now? How much are you paying right now? And by the way, Mike, when you bring up that, I brought it up yesterday to a lady, and she looked at the dental plan cost, but then I also brought up back to that HMA. because whoa. Well, then look at HMA, because it could take your money and double it in 35 months, which you can use for future dental work that you're going to need. So the DVH and HMA, I think, go together, and they're just great plans to tell people about.
Yeah. This is where, if you understand that, because some people, they're not savers, they're not going to think the HMA makes sense. Some people,
the HMA is the health matching account for those that don't know.
Right. Some people are like, you got all these initials all over the place. If you're brand new.
PHMA, we could use that for our dog, is the pet health matching account.
Correct. So, and if you're like, I'm blown away about how much there is to learn, we'll take 1 or 2 bubbles and add to your portfolio over the next couple months. Don't try to do everything at once. You'll go crazy.
Well, I think that is an important point, because you could get lost in all of this. You could be looking at all these initials and thinking, what's AEP? What's MAH? What's HFA? I don't know. But like Megan did when she first started, if you heard, she had her dad had cancer. It made her think about a cancer policy, and that's what she started with. When she got this whole ball rolling on the health side, she started with that one product. So just pick one and focus on that, okay? And then weave the others in on non-income producing hours. Okay?
Right. Learning on the product. So you move into cancer and critical illness, and not necessarily in this order, but just understand this realm of health. You could pick one of these.
Speaking of dentists, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I do have a dental appointment. So I've got to leave this call right now because I got to be there in 10 minutes. And I want to keep these pearly whites white. Okay?
Mm-hmm. All right.
So I'm going to public display of affection real quick.
All right.
Love you.
All right. So as she goes off to take care of leverage our benefits, understanding these different health scenarios. So whether it's the critical illness or cancer plans, whether it's Medicare Advantage and prescription drugs or Medicare supplement, whether it's the HMA. And now we want to kind of keep going around that circle. Now we're into, the pet health matching account. If they got pets, some people love their pets more than themselves or their own kids. So that might be another piece for you to understand. Which one do I want to weave in? And then there's the emergency response system or your referrals where you're tearing out. And then certainly there's the wealth side, whether we're talking annuities and IULs, and really understanding to get good at a few more. What if you're not an expert at all? So get good at one more, like just one more. Let's just get one more that we can add to the mix there is what I would coach you to start to get good at. And if you're coaching another agent, yes, we've got this map that shows all the possibilities, but I don't want them to drown the possibilities. Help them get one more tool for this month or this quarter, or if they uncover a need, go learn about that one need. Whew, Eric, talk to me about what this partnership opportunity means to you.
It means the world, baby. It means the world. I'm glad you asked me that because before you went on to your next guest, because I brought up a song to my team the other day, and I'm going to tell everybody about this song. And all you got to do is replace the you in this title I'm about to give you. Replace the you with partner. Replace the you with agency manager. Replace the you with 30,000 issue paid. And just listen to this song tonight. Listen to this song, and it's by George Harrison, and it's I Got My Mind Set on You. It's going to take time. It's going to take money. It's going to take patience. And I'm glad that Junior brought up time today, because even though Andy Albright might have more money than us, even though Mike Leventovich might have more money than me, let me tell you what those two guys don't have. They don't have more time than me. We all got the same amount of time, and it's going to take a time, and it depends on how we use our time. But what do you got your mind set on? What do you got your mind set on? I love what Ray said earlier, and that's why Mike had her say it, because it's what you got your mind set on is what you're going to get. And she's got her mind set on agency manager by the end of November. And it's going to take time, and it's going to take money, and it's going to take patience. And Mike, I love that I have an opportunity to be a partner with $1 billion company. I said it at the agency managers meeting in Tampa. I was glad to hear your wife repeat what I had said at one of these meetings, I think at TWC about a month back, because it resonated. And it is something that's major, and all of us have an opportunity to grab it. So I'm glad you asked me that question, but I listened to that song because I'm going to be listening to it every day because I got my mind set on.
That's right. Hey, is it set? Is it set? And yes, it's going to take time. Yes, it's going to take patience. Yes, it's going to take money. Plenty of money, plenty of time, plenty of patience. That's cool. Man, speaking of someone's got their mind set on partner, I know Joseph Dukes, you've got your mind set on partner. I know you've been working at it. Your team's got momentum. Jake and Bray here, you've got other studs coming up. But Joseph, just, as you're sitting there talking about what commitment means to you, the kind of commitment it's going to take to get to partner, the kind of work ethic, talk to me, tell us what your background was, but just really hear the recently in the last several months of what's going on with the transformation for you and your business.
So my name's Joseph Dukes. I was, before I moved down to the States, I lived up in Alaska pretty much most of my life and was in the produce business. So I ran a produce department for a dozen years and then went into mortgages when I moved down to Phoenix and did that for a few years and then started working with Mike and Noel and was hired by Paul Epstein, just super grateful. And it totally has changed my life. And I totally agree with Junior. In fact, it doesn't even matter how long I've been here because I'm just getting started. I mean, now is the beginning. And Eric, thank you for that song. Now it's kind of like, you got those songs that run in your head and you can't get rid of. Now I have George Harrison running in my head. Thank you. But it's, and that is an awesome song. And yeah, it's, I got my mind set on partner. It is the thing that I'm seeing right now is that it's about focus. And I know that Mike, you've been reminding me for years, hey dude, you get what you focus on. And it's been fun the last 4 or 5 months talking to the team about, hey, what's our focus? What's our focus as a team? And that's really that's what I see partner is. Partner isn't about one person. Partner is about what the team does. Partner is about what I can help Jake and Bray and Jarrett and James and Pamela and Barbara Lowry and everybody that's coming, that's in the team right now, and the people that aren't even here yet, what can I do to help serve them? And that is, and it was one of the coolest things, Mike, last night. Of course, we have as a team, we get together on Mondays and we get together on a Zoom and we all dial together, which is awesome because we got people all over the country. And we had we had Barbara Lowry and we had Dee Dee Meyer and we had Pamela all dialing with their mics open early on Monday morning. And it was cool listening to these, people dial and get coaching and how that impacted the rest of the team. And we watched people booking 15 and 20 appointments. And then yesterday when they were out in the field, I'm getting calls from people. Jarrett, had 9 appointments. And it was I was just super grateful at the end of the day when she called me and she's just like, what the heck am I doing? She says, man, I've had one of those days where I had 9 appointments and I helped 1. And the crazy thing is that as I was talking with her, I'm like, yeah. And hey, what kind of paychecks have you had this month? And she's like, $15,000. I was like, right. So one day does not a lifetime make. It's what you're focused on. And so talking about the focus, and so seeing people who are in the fight and seeing them, win some days and seeing them not quite hit the mark some days, but continue to get back in the ring and get back in the arena and get back in the arena and get back in the arena. And this is about a long-term focus. Mike, you were talking to me the other day and you reminded me like, bro, you're in you've been focused for what, 6-7 weeks, really, I mean, just some people on your team are focused and they're bearing down, but it's going to take 90 days for us to start seeing the worm turning. It's that pivot point. It's that tipping point. Like Venus was talking to our team this morning about like right now you might be putting in and you might be feeling like we're putting it all in. And it's all in. We're throwing our heart over the bar and it's all in. And it may not seem like it's working right now, but we're talking to each other and I'm talking to you more and I'm talking to Noel more and we're finding, hey, what isn't working and what is working. And those things that are working, we're doubling down on because we know when we tip over that bar, we're going to start seeing the results. And right now, Jake and Bray are starting to see the result. Jarrett's starting to see the result. I'm fired up to see what Tanisha's doing. Tanisha, thank you for sharing today. I mean, like I'm excited because I'm learning new stuff all the time, and I know I have so much to learn. And I want to remember that part of being a good leader is being humble. And so I appreciate you guys sharing today on all this stuff because I have so much to learn. I'm excited about it. So, go ahead, Mike.
Hey, no, but I love the momentum y'all have. Your team's doing crazy stuff, hitting new records in volume and income. Where are you tracking for revenue year to date, Joseph?
Year to date, we are at $277,000.
Okay.
And Mike, did you freeze or did I freeze? What did you ask, Mike?
I said, what are you projecting your income to be? Where are you going to end up?
I will end up this year at 400,000.
400,000. That's a big number. And where's that? Is it the best year ever?
That will be the best year so far.
All
so
right,
far.
400,000, and then on to $1 million.
And then on to $1 million in 2021.
Then partnership discussions. So it's that kind of stuff. And so, guys, if I give you one thing, it's like is Noel and I are focused on partner, and I know other people are, Paul Roberts and Stephen Davies and Fitz and other Riddle focused on getting other people. They'll be in the second wave, or some people might step up in that first wave faster. Here's what it starts to look like for me. It's like, am I believing I'm one of the first people up every day at my business? Am I leading by being the most hungry? Am I the first one talking to agents? Am I looking at my numbers in the morning? Am I making sure I'm working harder than my staff? Am I the hardest working agent on my team? Am I still out personal producing? Am I making sure I'm on top of my pending? Am I making sure agents that I'm personally coaching are prepared on Sundays and Wednesdays to be dialing on Mondays and Thursdays? Am I having to give up some of that time with my family to where it hurts? And there's moments where like, I want to be doing this one other thing, but I'm having to say no temporarily because I know how big it's going to be when we hit partner. I know when we hit that, we've got that massive check. And while, look, we've done good to save money. We're financing all of our kids' tuition out of cash, and it's easy to do. But wouldn't that be cool just to get one big check and say, this one big check is not just my kids' tuition for the next host, it's my grandkids' tuition. Or what's your thing in what you're doing, and why is it worth fighting it? But it's coming in, it's staying up late. Last night, Noel and I were getting some coaching and some work on a project we're working, get some help with Ed Soto. And we were both on the Zoom session from about 10:15 to about midnight. And he's pouring his heart out, and we're working through some stuff. And it's just like, and it's getting there at midnight and been feeling refreshed, and then taking another 15 or 30 minutes to read before I go to bed. And it's being up and excited and taking my kids to school and being engaged with them and having some family time. So I'm just telling you, we're going partner. We're convicted. It's going to happen. And it's knowing that we're going to lead with this momentum and work ethic and passion and having fun and taking advantage of the time we got. And so we welcome you to step up your personal production, to step up into agency manager, and to step up into partnership. And hopefully what we've given you here today gives you some more tools to help you. We need you on the journey. It is a marathon, but it's a fast marathon, and we want you with us. Guys, take care. Rock on. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Appreciate you.